So how did your first time on stage go? Where was that?
Do you mean my first time doing stand-up? I mean, that was comically bad. It was so funny. I'd met this lovely comic on when I sort of written and performed something that wasn't stand-up, and he said, I think you're really funny. I think you'd be really good at stand-up. And I was like, no, I don't think so. And he said, well, look, I'm running this small night. Why don't you come along and do something? And I thought, okay, well, why not? So I got there, and it was in some really dodgy end of London. And I got there, and it was above a pub, and he was looking very sort of tense. And I said, oh, hi, I'm here. And he said, okay, we're just sort of waiting a bit more because see if, at the moment there's not many audience. So I went upstairs and they ended up, because they couldn't find any audience, they ended up going onto the street and looking for audience members. So they ended up bringing in people into the audience who were incredibly drunk and confused. So you had this comedy audience who were full of drunk and confused people. And I was on last, and I watched everyone before me get completely annihilated by this audience. So there was this really drunk guy who was in the audience, and he was like, "Yeah, shit." And then this one guy was doing his routine, and then he was getting sort of booed, and so he said, "Okay, don't like that. Well, what about this?" And he whipped out this saucepan and he put it on his head, and he was like, "Do you like this? Do you think this is funny?" And everyone was like, "Yo, crap, get off the stage." It was literally that bad. And then Harriet Kemsley, who I was living with at the time, had sort of said to one of the comics there, she said, "Look, my friend Rosie's doing stand-up for the first time. Can you look out for her?" So her friend who I was sat with, he went on, and he actually did okay compared to everyone else. But he was so angry at the audience being horrible that he said he left his set going, "Fuck you all, I don't need this. I've got a gig at the Comedy Store later." So he got off stage and he said to me, he said, "Rosie, I know I told Harriet that I'd look after you. This is the worst audience I've ever experienced in my life." And he left. And before it got to me, the audience started going, "No more comedy, no more comedy." And the MC got on stage and he went, "No, wait, there's one more. And the chief heckler got up and was like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And he went, no, it's a she." And so then I got up and I was like, "Hello." So I got up on stage, and I was lucky because the chief heckler passed out throughout the whole of my set. So I didn't get any laughs, but I didn't get any heckling. I just got stone cold silence, which compared to everybody else was actually better than I was expecting. So I needed to silence, and then at the end of the set, the chief heckler woke up and he went, "You're brilliant!" like that. And that was my first comedy gig. And I thought, right, I'm not sure if I want to do this again. So it was a while till my second.
Yeah, I mean, fair play for trying again after that. I get the feeling it could have gone worse, perhaps, but I mean, yeah, that's quite a baptism to have had. I assume you still use that guy's review of your set on like posters and that sort of thing. Of
course, yeah. Drunk man pulled out from the street says, yeah.
So when did you actually start to get, I don't know, comfortable with standing on stage and telling jokes? Because it's almost, I think it's perhaps the most terrifying thing to get on stage and do, because anyone can get on stage and talk or like repeat a script, and they're able to hide behind the script in a way because they didn't write it.
Yeah.
Or they're able to just sort of talk, and people will sit there and half listen, and if they're not expecting anything. If say you go to, like, I don't know, I was going to give a talk on something, you'd expect people to be sat there, most of them, or a good portion, like not really listening. Or whereas when you're going up on stage to do comedy, you're kind of up there, and the focus is really quite on you in a way that it's not, say, at like an open mic maybe for a musician where you're just sort of in the background. When do you stop being like, holy shit, I'm up here to try and make these people laugh and they're all staring at me and I've just got this microphone and, oh dear God, please don't rush the stage.
Well, I find it always really scary. I mean, I think the good thing about I've noticed this with other stand-ups who have training in acting, is I think they are, at the beginning, they're better at feigning confidence. So when you're looking at new stand-ups, people who have done drama usually look more confident even if they aren't, whereas new stand-ups who don't have that are kind of more unconfident. I mean, I find that it actually depends on the gig, because you can get on, to begin with, I'm always pretty nervous, but when you get on stage, if an audience starts really responding and really enjoying it, then I very quickly relax on stage and start enjoying what I'm doing. If you get on stage and you make a joke, and usually, you start with a strong opener because you want to win the audience round. If no one responds to that well, then instantly you're back slightly up. And it's a bit of a catch-22, because if you're not confident on stage, then you can't do as good a job. And you're not as funny. So it's these things that you've got to try and fake it till you make it, really.
Yeah, I mean, I have the utmost respect for all comedians who are able to stand up and sort of, I don't know, command a crowd in a way. I was watching a set of yours from, I can't remember where it was, somewhere in London. I will put the link in the description below. I'll be able to find it for people. And you were talking about, I think it was a couple of years ago, and you talked about that you'd been dating a journalist who was writing a book about Brexit, and so they kind of split up with you in order to And I was just I was laughing so hard. I was like, I bet my ex-girlfriend wished I'd done that, because I literally I think probably drove her insane whilst writing a book about Brexit. I was laughing so hard.
Oh God. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because it was hard to see the when I was dating him, he was writing this book about Brexit, and he Brexited me basically. It's hard not to see the parallels.
Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the podcast. Don't forget our sponsor, ExpressVPN, and my book, Brexit, The Establishment Civil War, can both be found in the links in the description below. And also, please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It's the best way to help us grow. Until next time, thanks for listening. Screw the hedge funds.
You can make as many rules as you want, but if there's no teeth behind them, what's the point?
Well, Citadel is potentially just gone in a few months. It feels like financial institutions, that they are all laughing at us by buying GME. Screw the hedge funds. I will lose my entire investment if it brings them down.
Why on earth, last May, could you buy the entire company for $200 million?
What's been happening on Reddit and in social media and in the marketplace has never been seen before.
I argue that nothing is off the table. There is nothing off the table when dealing with the volumes of money in something as big as the United States stock market.
The hedge funds have clearly underestimated a group of people raised on Friday night World of Warcraft raids.
Dark pools, they're another mechanism to manipulate and cheat. Mainstream journalists don't say these things for a number of reasons. One is their sources are the people that I'm talking about, and so they can't call somebody a crook.
Superstonk and the other communities that have emerged are a hive mind, the likes of which we have never seen before. It's madness and brilliance, insanity and genius all rolled into one. It's very possible that Citadel will be gone in a few months. And not just Citadel, but the entire financial system has the potential to come crashing down. These crooks continue to gamble recklessly with the world economy, and this could be the moment that they finally get their justice.